There are tons of multi-platform controllers to choose from right now. So how does the brand new EasySMX X05Pro compare to the competition? In this review, I'll be going over its price and unboxing, features and specs, design and hand feel, settings and software, and tech and game tests. Quick disclaimer, this controller was sent to me for free by EasySMX, but I had no restrictions for this review. Everything I say here is my honest opinion. Stick around until the end for my final thoughts, and if you want to see more videos like this, consider subscribing and hitting the like button. Alright, let's get into it. You can buy the EasySMX X05Pro on Amazon or the EasySMX website right now for $39.99. It comes in this small, sturdy box, and inside you can find the manual, a 2.4 GHz dongle, the controller itself, and a USB A to C cable. Overall, the unboxing experience for the X05Pro is simple and clean, and honestly, it's kind of refreshing how quickly you can open the box and start gaming. The X05Pro features noise-canceling membrane buttons, Hall effect sticks, 2-stage Hall effect triggers, 2 extra top bumpers, a smooth 8-way D-pad, a 1000 mAh battery, 1000 Hz polling rate in wired and wireless modes, soft silicone grips, 4 rumble motors, and PC, Switch, Android, and iOS support. I have the limited edition Aurora Purple X05Pro, but it's also available in black or white. As you can see, the purple color is iridescent and shines in the light, which looks really nice. Design-wise, the X05Pro seems like a direct response to the GameSir Nova 2 Lite. They look and feel very similar, but the X05Pro has the soft silicone grips, which I prefer. The thumbsticks are also similar and support PS5 control freaks. I feel like the stick tension is pretty low, but I'll check that later using my force gauge. The RGB lighting is subtle, and the buttons and D-pad all have a super soft membrane feel. Noise-canceling buttons sound like a kind of silly and gimmicky feature, but this controller is actually pretty dang quiet. Here's how it sounds up close. Up top, the triggers, bumpers, and extra buttons are rounded and look similar to the 8BitDo Ultimate 2. Honestly, this whole controller feels like a mashup of other controllers I own, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. The locking triggers make the travel time faster for shooting games, and they're nice and quiet like the face buttons. It is interesting that EasySMX opted for extra top buttons instead of back bumpers. That does seem to be a popular trend with controller companies right now though. Let me know in the comments if you prefer these over traditional back bumpers. Overall, I think the X05Pro feels just as good as it looks, which is great for a budget controller. As far as I can see online, the X05Pro doesn't have any software to download. So if you want to tweak your settings, you'll have to open up the manual and input button commands manually. You can switch between X and D input by holding the back and start buttons for 3 seconds, which is really handy. The white light means you're in X input mode, and the yellow light means D input. You can also use the M button and other button combinations to program the extra buttons, enable turbo mode, customize the RGB lighting, adjust vibration, adjust the stick dead zone and circularity, and calibrate your sticks and triggers. These are all features you'd expect from a modern Pro controller, but the lack of software can be a big turnoff for some people. Personally, I don't mind using button commands, but I don't change settings too often. With that said, I still hope EasySMX releases an app in the future. I ran the X05Pro through Gamepad Law's Stick Analyzer a few times, and my best results showed 400 data points and a 256 point resolution. These are pretty standard results for budget Hall effect sticks. I was only able to get an 858 Hz polling rate in 2.4 GHz mode and 885 Hz in wired mode, but that could be due to my older Windows 10 hardware. My results in Gamepad Tester were excellent, however, with both sticks showing a 0.3% error in circular mode and 8.3% error in rectangular mode, with nice even shading. Using my digital force gauge to test the stick tension, I found both sticks require about 55 grams of pressure to move. That's slightly lower than a standard Xbox Series controller, but not by much. Next up, I jumped into some rounds of Call of Duty. The sticks feel responsive, and the trigger locks are great for fast-paced shooters like this. Some people might find the lower resolution Hall effect sticks a bit floaty, but I personally don't have any issues with them. I would prefer back paddles instead of the extra top buttons, but I was able to adjust to this layout pretty quickly. Next, I connected the X05Pro to my Switch 2 and played some Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4. This controller doesn't have HD rumble, but the 2 grips and trigger motors get the job done. It also doesn't have gyro support, which I don't really mind, but I know some people love that feature. All in all, I've thoroughly enjoyed using the X05 Pro over the last few weeks. I think it's a fantastic budget controller for $40, and I especially love this limited edition color. The main selling point of the X05 Pro is definitely the quiet buttons. Personally, I don't really mind louder controllers, but if you're a college student, parent, or someone who needs to stay quiet during gaming sessions, then I think it's a great option. I will say the lack of EasySMX software is definitely a bummer though, and I really hope EasySMX gains some popularity and makes an app soon. So would I recommend this controller? Well, if you're a casual gamer or want a pro style controller for your Switch 2, but don't want to shell out $90+, I can confidently recommend the X05 Pro. It has a really nice price to performance ratio, and I think overall it's just a really good budget option for most people. If you want to grab one for yourself, I've included a link in the description along with a 10% discount code on Amazon. And if you want to support this channel, consider subscribing and hitting the like button. It really helps a lot. Thanks for watching my review, and big thanks to EasySMX for sending me this controller. Alright, I'll see you guys next time.